Remember when breakfast was simple? Before the endless parade of miracle foods and complicated nutrition advice? I certainly do. That's why I was skeptical when I first heard about oatmeal being some kind of superfood. Could something so ordinary, something my grandmother served every winter morning, really make a difference in my health at this stage of life? What I discovered changed everything, and it might just change everything for you too. That humble bowl of oatmeal contains something remarkable, a special fiber called beta glucan that acts like a tiny sponge in your bloodstream. It literally soaks up the dangerous cholesterol that could be building up in your arteries right now. The most surprising part? This simple breakfast works so well that it rivals some prescription medications, without the side effects that have you reading those mile-long warning labels. Just one daily bowl can lower your bad cholesterol by up to 10%. That's not just impressive, it could be life-saving. Know what you're thinking. If it's so powerful, why hasn't my doctor been prescribing oatmeal all these years? Good question. Sometimes the simplest solutions get overlooked in our high-tech medical world. When you suddenly feel like you need a nap at 10:30. For years, I blamed it on age. Turns out I was blaming the wrong thing. The real culprit was hiding in my breakfast bowl, those healthy cereals that were secretly spiking my blood sugar, then sending it crashing down like a roller coaster. No wonder I felt exhausted before lunch. That's where oatmeal works its quiet magic. Unlike those other breakfast foods, oatmeal releases its energy slowly, like a time-release capsule. Your body gets a steady stream of fuel that keeps you going all morning. For those of us watching our blood sugar, and honestly, who isn't at our age? This steady release is a game changer. Oatmeal has a much gentler effect on blood sugar than most breakfast options. It's like the difference between a friend who speaks calmly and one who shouts. They both get your attention, but one doesn't leave you feeling rattled afterward. The secret? Don't sabotage your oatmeal's good work by drowning it in sugar. Instead, try cinnamon. It actually helps your body process sugar better while adding that warm, comforting flavor we all love. Have you noticed how skin changes as we age? The dryness, the itchiness, the way every little irritation seems to linger longer than it used to? I spent a fortune on creams and lotions before discovering something remarkable. Beautiful skin starts from within, and oatmeal contains unique compounds called avenanthramides that you won't find in any other food. These natural anti-inflammatory agents work from the inside out to calm irritated skin. What fascinated me was discovering the connection between our gut and our skin. They're actually talking to each other all day long. When oatmeal feeds the good bacteria in your digestive system, your skin responds with a healthier glow. It's like having an internal beautician working around the clock. I've watched friends spend hundreds on fancy skin treatments while overlooking this simple solution. The silicon in oats actually helps build collagen, the very thing those expensive creams promise to replace. And unlike those jar promises, this one delivers results you can actually see and feel. The most telling moment? When my granddaughter touched my cheek last month and said, "Grandma, your skin feels so soft." That's when I knew this simple change was working its magic. But wait, you might be thinking, I thought oats contain gluten? Won't that cause inflammation? I wondered the same thing after hearing so much about gluten sensitivity these days. Here's the surprising truth I discovered. Pure oats naturally contain zero gluten. Zero. So why all the confusion? It turns out oats often get contaminated during farming and processing. They're frequently grown in fields right next to wheat, processed on the same equipment, and handled in ways that introduce gluten along the way. It's like having a clean shirt pick up lint from a sweater in the dryer. The oats themselves aren't the problem. If you're among the growing number of us who've noticed gluten sensitivity as we age, look specifically for oats labeled certified gluten-free. These undergo rigorous testing to ensure they remain pure from field to table. I was relieved to discover this because giving up oatmeal would have meant losing all its benefits. Instead, making this simple switch to certified gluten-free varieties allowed me to enjoy oatmeal without the digestive discomfort that had been troubling me for years. Sometimes the solution isn't eliminating foods, it's finding the right version of them. Let's talk about something many of us struggle with: those extra pounds that seem to appear out of nowhere as we age. Our metabolism slows, our activity levels change, and suddenly clothes that fit perfectly for decades become uncomfortably tight. I was fighting this battle myself when I discovered oatmeal's secret weapon against weight gain. It's all about that feeling of satisfaction, of not being hungry again an hour after breakfast. The fiber in oatmeal expands in your stomach, creating a natural feeling of fullness that lasts. But here's what amazed me. Studies show people who eat oatmeal for breakfast end up eating 30% fewer calories at lunch without even trying. Their bodies simply weren't sending those urgent, "I'm starving" signals that lead to overeating. I noticed this myself. Those 3 p.m. cravings for something sweet? They practically disappeared after I started my day with oatmeal. My body wasn't on that blood sugar roller coaster anymore, desperately seeking quick energy. The key is keeping your portion reasonable. About a cup of cooked oatmeal is perfect. Too much of anything, even something healthy, can work against your goals. I learned this the hard way before finding my perfect balance. One morning at the community center, I overheard some younger folks talking about oatmeal as part of their muscle building routine. I almost laughed. What could my breakfast possibly have to do with muscles at my age? Then I learned something that changed my perspective entirely. After 60, we lose about 3% of our muscle mass each year unless we actively work to maintain it. And maintaining muscle isn't just about strength, it's about independence, balance, and avoiding falls. Oatmeal provides the perfect fuel for gentle strength training. The complex carbohydrates deliver sustained energy for exercise and help muscles recover afterward. Even more surprising, these carbohydrates trigger insulin release that helps transport amino acids, the building blocks of muscle, exactly where they need to go. I started pairing my morning oatmeal with some light resistance exercises 3 times a week. Within months, everyday activities became noticeably easier: carrying groceries, climbing stairs, even getting up from low chairs. These might seem like small victories, but they're the exact things that keep us independent as we age. The difference wasn't just physical. That feeling of getting stronger rather than weaker with each passing year, it changes your entire outlook on aging. After hearing all these benefits, I went all in on oatmeal. Every single morning, the same bowl. But then something unexpected happened. I started feeling tired again. My fingernails became brittle. Something was missing. That's when I learned an important lesson about balance. Oatmeal is nutritious, but it doesn't contain everything our bodies need. It's like trying to build a house with only lumber. You still need nails, windows, and a foundation. Oatmeal lacks vitamin C, vitamin D, vitamin B12, and calcium, nutrients especially crucial as we age. Our bodies become less efficient at absorbing these vitamins right when we need them most. The solution wasn't giving up my beloved oatmeal. It was transforming it into a complete meal by thoughtfully adding complementary foods: fresh berries for vitamin C, a splash of fortified milk for calcium and B12, a sprinkle of seeds for healthy fats. This approach actually simplified my nutrition. Instead of worrying about dozens of different supplements and superfoods, I could focus on creating one perfectly balanced breakfast. My energy returned, and I had the satisfaction of knowing I was giving my body exactly what it needed to thrive, not just survive, in these golden years. For months, I sang oatmeal's praises to anyone who would listen. Then my friend Eleanor tried it and had a completely different experience. Instead of feeling energized, she felt bloated and uncomfortable. Was she doing something wrong? Was I? Neither, as it turns out. Even healthy foods aren't right for everyone. Some bodies react to a protein in oats called avenin, which resembles gluten. Eleanor wasn't imagining her discomfort. Her body was sending real distress signals. The signs can be subtle: a little bloating, mild stomach discomfort, perhaps some fatigue or skin irritation after eating oats. These symptoms are easy to dismiss or blame on something else, especially when we've been told a food is supposed to be healthy for us. Eleanor discovered she could enjoy many of the same benefits from other foods. Quinoa porridge gave her the warm, satisfying breakfast experience without the discomfort. Buckwheat provided similar nutrients. Chia pudding became another favorite. Her experience taught me something valuable. Listening to your own body is more important than following any health trend. Our bodies become more unique as we age, with different needs and sensitivities. The wisdom to recognize and honor these differences is one of aging's unexpected gifts. After decades in the kitchen, I thought I knew everything about cooking. Then I discovered I'd been preparing oatmeal all wrong. Small changes in preparation can dramatically affect both nutrition and flavor. The first revelation was cooking temperature. High heat destroys many of oatmeal's precious antioxidants, the very compounds that fight inflammation and aging. Gentle, slow cooking preserves up to 25% more of these beneficial substances. It's like the difference between simmering and scorching a delicate sauce. The water-to-oats ratio makes all the difference too. Too much water creates a bland, soupy mess. Too little leaves you with stiff, chewy oats. For steel-cut oats, the magic ratio is 3 cups liquid to 1 cup oats. For rolled oats, it's 2-1. Getting this right transforms the experience from ordinary to extraordinary. I also discovered the power of soaking oats overnight. This ancient technique breaks down compounds that can block mineral absorption. Suddenly, the calcium, iron, and zinc in my diet became more available to my body, something especially important as we age and absorption naturally decreases. These small adjustments required minimal effort, but made a world of difference. My oatmeal went from acceptable to absolutely delicious, and my body could access more of its nutrition. Sometimes the biggest improvements come from the smallest changes. The moment that scared me into action happened during a crossword puzzle. The 7-letter word for obvious simply wouldn't come to me. I knew it, had used it hundreds of times, but my mind went blank. Was this the beginning of something serious? That frightening moment led me to research brain health extensively. What I discovered about oatmeal surprised me. This simple breakfast actually provides ideal brain fuel. Your brain consumes a staggering 20% of your body's energy, and it strongly prefers glucose. Oatmeal's complex carbohydrates break down slowly, delivering a steady stream of glucose that keeps your brain functioning optimally throughout the morning. No spikes, no crashes, just consistent mental energy. Even more impressive are the specific nutrients in oatmeal that support brain function. Vitamin B1 helps produce acetylcholine, a neurotransmitter essential for memory. Magnesium supports healthy brain electrical activity. Iron ensures proper oxygen delivery to brain cells. After making oatmeal a daily habit, I noticed something remarkable. Those senior moments became less frequent. Words came more easily. I felt mentally sharper, especially during morning activities. That crossword puzzle that once stumped me, I now finish it with time to spare. Small changes, remarkable differences. No one prepared me for how dramatically hormones would affect my quality of life as I aged. Hot flashes that woke me drenched in sweat. Mood swings that left my family walking on eggshells. I felt at the mercy of my changing body. Then I learned about lignans, natural compounds in oatmeal that gently interact with our hormonal systems. These plant compounds have a structure similar to estrogen and can help smooth the transition as our natural hormone levels shift. The difference was subtle at first. One night of uninterrupted sleep, then another. Gradually, hot flashes became less intense and less frequent. My mood stabilized. I felt more like myself again. What impressed me most was how this gentle, food-based approach supported my body's natural processes without the side effects of hormone replacement therapy that had concerned me. The lignans in oatmeal don't force anything. They simply help ease the transition. Of course, severe hormonal issues should always be discussed with healthcare providers. But for many of us experiencing the natural transitions of aging, This nutritional support offers welcome relief. It's empowering to discover that something so simple can help restore balance during this challenging phase of life. Sleep becomes such a precious commodity as we age, doesn't it? I spent years blaming my poor sleep on everything from my mattress to the neighbor's dog. I tried expensive supplements, white noise machines, even prescription medications, with mixed results and unwanted side effects. The connection between my morning oatmeal and my nighttime sleep quality wasn't obvious until I started keeping a wellness journal. The pattern emerged clearly. On days I ate oatmeal, I fell asleep more easily and woke less frequently during the night. This seemed too simple to be true, so I dug deeper. Turns out oats naturally contain melatonin, the very hormone our bodies produce to regulate sleep cycles. They're also rich in tryptophan, which helps create both serotonin and melatonin in the brain. The most fascinating discovery was about timing. Having a small serving of oatmeal about 2 hours before bedtime actually helped me fall asleep up to 50% faster. The complex carbohydrates triggered a gentle insulin response that made tryptophan more available to my brain, essentially preparing it for quality sleep. After decades of sleep struggles, this simple solution felt like finding water in a desert. Not a pill, not an expensive gadget, just a small bowl of nature's perfect sleep food. Sometimes the answers we seek have been in our kitchens all along. When my granddaughter insisted I try oat milk in my coffee, I thought I was making a healthy choice. It's made from oats, Grandpa. It must be good for you. Her enthusiasm was contagious, so I stocked my refrigerator with cartons of this trendy new beverage. Then one day, out of curiosity, I turned the carton around and read the ingredient list. What I saw stopped me in my tracks. Added oils, sugars, gums, and preservatives. A far cry from the simple whole grain I'd come to trust. A closer look revealed some brands contained up to 7 grams of added sugar per serving, almost 2 teaspoons. The primary ingredient was filtered water, not oats, and the processing removed most of the beneficial fiber that makes whole oats so healthy in the first place. I felt duped by clever marketing. The carton showed images of whole oats and made health claims, but the product inside bore little nutritional resemblance to actual oatmeal. The solution was surprisingly simple. I learned to make my own oat milk at home with just oats, water, and a blender. No additives, no hidden sugars, just the pure goodness of oats in liquid form. It wasn't as creamy as the store-bought version, but knowing exactly what I was putting in my body was worth the trade-off. Sometimes seeing behind the marketing curtain empowers us to make truly healthier choices. The pain in my joints had become my constant companion. Morning stiffness, afternoon aches, evening discomfort, the predictable rhythm of my days. I accepted it as an inevitable part of aging until a conversation with another swimmer at the community pool changed everything. "Have you noticed how oatmeal affects your inflammation?" she asked casually. I hadn't made the connection, but once she mentioned it, I began paying attention. On mornings after eating oatmeal, my joints were noticeably less stiff. The effect was subtle but undeniable. This led me to discover avenanthramides, unique anti-inflammatory compounds found almost exclusively in oats. Unlike over-the-counter pain medications that mask symptoms, these compounds address inflammation at its source by reducing the production of inflammatory molecules in the body. Even more impressive was how these benefits accumulated over time. After 6 weeks of regular oatmeal consumption, markers of inflammation in the bloodstream can drop by up to 16%. No prescription needed, no worrisome side effects, just a simple breakfast working quietly to reduce the underlying cause of so much discomfort. For maximum benefit, I learned to choose steel-cut or rolled oats rather than instant varieties, as they contain higher levels of these beneficial compounds. Adding berries, walnuts, or turmeric cray to a powerful inflammation-fighting breakfast that helped me reclaim comfort I thought was lost forever. The pharmacy counter had become all too familiar territory. Each new prescription came with warnings, potential side effects, and interactions to monitor. The growing collection of orange bottles in my medicine cabinet was a visual reminder of aging I could have done without. During a medication review, my pharmacist noticed my daily oatmeal habit and shared something fascinating. This simple breakfast was actually enhancing the effectiveness of my cholesterol medication. The fiber in oatmeal was working synergistically with my statin, potentially allowing for a lower dose with the same benefits. However, she also cautioned me about timing. The same fiber that offers so many health benefits can bind to certain medications and reduce their absorption. For thyroid medication, certain antibiotics, and some osteoporosis drugs, she advised taking them at least an hour before or 2 hours after eating oatmeal. For those managing diabetes, she explained that oatmeal's blood sugar-lowering effect combined with diabetes medications could potentially cause blood sugar to drop too low. Careful monitoring and possibly adjusting medication dosages might be necessary when adding oatmeal to the daily routine. This conversation was eye-opening. Food and medicine aren't separate systems. They interact in complex ways that can either enhance or interfere with each other. Understanding these interactions empowered me to optimize both my nutrition and my medication schedule for better health outcomes. I tried oatmeal for breakfast, but I was starving an hour later. My neighbor's frustration echoed my own early experience. Despite oatmeal's reputation for being filling, some people experience hunger pangs shortly after eating it. Was this all in our heads? Not at all, as it turns out. This phenomenon, called rebound hunger, happens when your breakfast is carbohydrate heavy without enough protein and healthy fats to balance it. While oatmeal's fiber does slow digestion, a meal consisting primarily of carbohydrates can cause a more rapid rise and fall in blood sugar than a balanced meal. The solution is surprisingly simple. Adding just 20 grams of protein to breakfast, about the amount in 2 eggs or a cup of Greek yogurt, reduces pre-lunch hunger signals by an astonishing 60%. Protein takes longer to digest than carbohydrates and helps maintain stable blood sugar levels. I transformed my own oatmeal routine by adding Greek yogurt, a spoonful of almond butter, and a sprinkle of pumpkin seeds. The difference was remarkable. Steady energy until lunchtime without those mid-morning hunger pangs. This experience taught me that even the healthiest foods need to be part of a balanced approach. Oatmeal isn't magic on its own. It's how we incorporate it into a complete meal that unlocks its full potential. Sometimes the solution isn't changing what we eat, but how we combine foods to work in harmony. The headline caught my eye: Weed Killer Found in Popular Breakfast Foods. Surely my trusted oatmeal couldn't be on the list? As I read further, my heart sank. Many conventional oat products contained residues of glyphosate, the active ingredient in common weed killers. This chemical is often sprayed on oat crops shortly before harvest as a drying agent, leaving residues in the final product. While regulatory agencies consider these levels safe, many health experts have raised concerns about long-term exposure, particularly for seniors whose detoxification systems may be less efficient. I felt betrayed. The very food I'd trusted for my health contained something potentially harmful. But rather than abandon oatmeal altogether, I decided to be more selective about which oats I purchased. Organic certification became my first filter. These standards prohibit the use of synthetic herbicides like glyphosate. Products labeled glyphosate residue-free offered additional assurance. Yes, these options cost more, but protecting my health seemed worth the premium, especially for a food I consume daily. This experience reminded me that in today's world, being health-conscious means looking beyond nutritional content to how our food is grown and processed. Sometimes the invisible ingredients matter as much as the ones listed on the nutrition label. Knowledge empowers us to make choices aligned with our health priorities. After months of the same oatmeal routine, breakfast boredom set in. I found myself tempted by less healthy options just for variety's sake. Then a cooking demonstration at the senior center opened my eyes to oatmeal's untapped potential. The nutritionist showed us how thoughtful additions could transform oatmeal from a one-note breakfast into a symphony of flavors and enhanced health benefits. Each addition served a specific purpose beyond just taste. Cinnamon wasn't just for flavor, it actually enhanced oatmeal's blood sugar benefits, reducing post-meal spikes by helping cells use insulin more effectively. Just half a teaspoon made a measurable difference. For brain health, she recommended adding ground flax seeds or walnuts. These provide omega-3 fatty acids that support cognitive function and reduce inflammation. Blueberries contribute anthocyanins that improve memory and delay brain aging. To boost heart protection, ground flax seeds provide additional soluble fiber and lignans that further reduce cholesterol. A handful of almonds adds plant sterols that block cholesterol absorption. I began experimenting with these functional additions, creating different combinations for different health goals. Monday became Heart Health Day with flax and berries. Wednesday focused on joint pain with turmeric and ginger. Friday's mixture supported immune function with zinc-rich pumpkin seeds. This approach transformed breakfast from a mundane routine into an opportunity for creative nourishment. Each morning became a chance to address specific health concerns through delicious combinations that never grew boring. Summer arrived with sweltering heat that made hot breakfast unappetizing. I was ready to abandon my oatmeal routine until a friend introduced me to overnight oats, a completely different approach that changed everything. The concept was brilliantly simple. Combine oats and liquid in a jar, refrigerate overnight, and wake up to a cool, ready-to-eat breakfast. No cooking required. Perfect for hot summer mornings when standing over a stove was the last thing I wanted to do. But the benefits went far beyond convenience. This soaking method actually makes oatmeal's nutrients more available to your body. The Journal of Food Science and Technology found that overnight soaking reduces phytic acid, a compound that blocks mineral absorption, by up to 60%. Suddenly, the calcium, iron, and zinc in my diet became more bioavailable. The fermentation that naturally occurs during overnight soaking also increases resistant starch, a type of fiber that specifically feeds beneficial gut bacteria. Since 70% of our immune system resides in our gut, this simple preparation method was actually enhancing my body's defense system. My basic recipe evolved with the seasons: almond milk and berries in summer, apple and cinnamon in fall, cranberry and orange in winter. This versatility kept breakfast interesting year-round while maintaining the health benefits I'd come to rely on. Sometimes the best innovations aren't about finding new foods, but discovering new ways to prepare familiar ones. Looking back over this journey, I'm amazed at how one simple food has transformed so many aspects of my health. What began as a cholesterol-lowering strategy became a daily ritual that improved everything from my energy levels to my sleep quality. For those struggling with weight management, I recommend the Metabolism Booster Oatmeal. Combine rolled oats with water, ground flaxseed, cinnamon, and a pinch of cayenne pepper. Top with Greek yogurt and berries. The protein promotes fullness, while cinnamon and cayenne gently support metabolism. For brain health, especially important as we age, try the cognitive enhancer, steel-cut oats with blueberries, walnuts, and a pinch of turmeric with black pepper. Blueberries provide anthocyanins that support memory, while turmeric's curcumin has been linked to improved cognitive function. For my fellow seniors, I've created the Longevity Bowl that addresses our specific nutritional needs: rolled oats cooked with calcium-fortified milk, topped with ground flaxseed, almond butter, half a banana, and pumpkin seeds. This combination provides calcium for bone health, protein to maintain muscle mass, and zinc for immune function. The British Medical Journal found that consuming about 70 grams of whole grain oats daily was associated with a 7% reduction in all-cause mortality. Think about that. A simple breakfast choice could actually extend your life. I began this journey skeptical that something as ordinary as oatmeal could make a meaningful difference in my health. Now I understand that sometimes the most powerful changes come from the simplest choices, repeated daily. Whatever health challenges you're facing, whether it's heart concerns, blood sugar issues, joint pain, or simply wanting more energy to enjoy your golden years, I encourage you to give oatmeal a 2-week trial. Your body has an incredible capacity to respond to positive changes, regardless of age. I'd love to hear about your experiences. What health improvements have you noticed since adding oatmeal to your routine? What's your favorite way to prepare it? Share your story in the comments below. Your journey might be exactly what inspires someone else to take that first step toward better health. Remember, it's never too late to feel better tomorrow than you do today. Sometimes the most profound healing begins with the humblest ingredients.